Rangers have been knocked out of the Champions League after Dynamo Kiev scored 2 late goals at Hampden Park. Rangers had winger Jefte sent off early in the second half after a decision which manager Clement has described as the worst he's ever seen. After a 1-1 draw in the first leg and the second tie goalless on 50 minutes, Jefte was shown a second yellow card by referee Marco Geda after an aerial challenge on Alexander Karaveev. Kiev took advantage to score 2 late goals. That set up a tie with RB Salzburg for a Champions League place. But Clement is far from happy about the controversial decision to send off Jefte.
I cannot say it kills the dream at that moment, because that's the thing to be proud of. The players kept on going with 10 to make good organization, to try to find in the moments to counter-attack. Before that, we were dominating the game, and we were creating the chances out of that, not with massive chances, because Dynamo is also a good team, but you saw they were getting tired, and we knew the last half hour we would get more space to get better chances. So, yeah, the players kept on doing what they had to do. They kept on believing, but then you get the goal against at the end, and then you do, a little bit casino, 1 against 1, to try to force something, and you get the second goal against. So it's a very decisive moment, and in the end, it has killed the dream of a dressing room. It has killed the dream of more than 50,000 fans, and you expect a better level in decision making, because this is, for me, the worst decision that I've seen in my more than 30 years of football.
I obviously tried to speak to him as it happened, but he obviously explained that it was an elbow in the face. But you know, looking back at it during game time, he gets up really early, and I thought it wasn't, even a free kick. I thought he gets up early. There's no malice to what he was doing. He was trying to win the ball, and obviously the decision goes against us, and it's a yellow card. So I don't think VAR can intervene, and yeah, it's obviously a decision that went against us.
Yeah, so Dougie, real disappointment for Rangers. I mean, especially after that controversial red card decision. What did you make of it?
Yeah, I felt really sorry for Jefte. He signed for Rangers in May from Apoel, the Cypriot side. One of his first games for Rangers, a huge opportunity to impress. Gets an early yellow card. Even that I felt was a little bit harsh. But then this second yellow for this supposed elbow just felt like a really shocking decision. There was no malice in it. There was no aggression. There was really no elbow at all. He just jumped higher. He just showed more natural athleticism. And to be sent off for that in a huge opportunity for Rangers to get to the next round of qualifying, hopefully make the Champions League group stages, was hugely disappointing. And I completely empathise with Clement.
OK. Right, Sam, take us through the rest of the night's results. Glad this is for you, and I can just sit back and do nothing. Thanks.
Well, excellent. Well, Rangers fans won't like me saying this, but this is what you could have had. It would have been Salzburg in the next round. They came through against FC Twente. It was quite nervy, though. Salzburg had a 5-2 aggregate lead, and Twente scored 2 goals to make it a little bit of a nervy ending, but they just about pulled through. Other results saw Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce. They are out after losing to Lille. We're going to come on to that a little bit later, but performance of the night goes to Karabag at the bottom there. They were 2-1 down going into that away second leg at Ludogorets. They levelled it by winning 3-2 to take it to extra time, and then they scored 4 goals in extra time, including 3 in the last 10 minutes. Incredible stuff, but in fairness, probably a complete collapse from Ludogorets as well. Malmo had a dramatic night as well. They scored in the 96th minute to take that game to extra time before winning it in the additional 30 minutes, and both Prague sides are through as well, so that's good for the city, isn't it?
Oh, OK. So out of the Champions League, what about Rangers? And because their European hopes aren't completely over, are they, Sam? Yeah,
Rangers fans just don't quite put your passports back in your drawers just yet, because defeat means they are now in the Europa League proper. Their success in this competition, remember they got to the final in 2022, means they will go into pot 1 with the likes of Roma, Manchester United, Porto, Eintracht Frankfurt, Lazio in there as well. However, with Real Sociedad, Olympiacos, Lyon, Atletico Bilbao, they're in the other pot, spread across the other 3. It will be a tricky group stage for them. And remember, just like the Champions League, it's a new league phase phase system in the Europa League. Basically, everyone's in a big league. The top 8 qualify for the last 16, and the teams that finish between 16th and 24th play each other in the playoff round.
Yeah, we'll wait to see how that works out and whether we like it or not, but great to have a little bit of change. Do you think for Rangers, though, now in the Europa League, actually a better prospect for them?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the last time they were in the Champions League group stage was in 22-23, so the season before last, and they conceded 22 goals in 6 games. That was the year after they reached the Europa League final that Sam was mentioning. That run included wins against RB Leipzig and Borussia Dortmund, and was one of many Rangers fans' favourite moments of their recent history. So that definitely offers more opportunity for them to progress further and continue on what has really been a pretty good history in that competition recently. First under Steven Gerrard and then under Van Bronckhorst as well.
Yeah, what about Jose Mourinho, Sam? Jose Mourinho, goodness me, Europa League for him, Fenerbahce, not having a great time of things. What's happened?
Yeah, it was a difficult night for Jose Mourinho last night. His Fenerbahce side were losing 2-1. They forced extra time by winning the second leg 1-0. But then Lille had a man sent off, and while Fenerbahce were pushing for a winner, Lille scored at the other end through Jonathan David's penalty. Now, after the game, Jose Mourinho was actually quite bullish about it. He said, we would never win the Champions League at Fenerbahce. We would never reach the Champions League final, never. But we can do a great Europa League with if. Now, I think if means if Fenerbahce improve. I can't speak more than the if. And then the final line, if not, I am in big trouble. I think we've heard that one before.